All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup. ThorZaIN and KnOfF going up against FoCuS and LawLiet. Over here on the top side of the map, Turtle Rock, we see FoCuS spawning as the teal orc. Meanwhile, his partner LawLiet spawning under the name Desert Fox as the teal night elf. They will be going up against the orc and human combination of ThorZaIN and KnOfF. Alright, probably just gonna try. I keep on feeling like I'm saying KnOff's name wrong, so I don't know. My apologies. I keep on wanting to say knife, but KnOfF, but no, but yes. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Human orc versus orc night elf. No undead on the map, as the players are getting set up already. This is Turtle Rock. No, a map that pretty much needs no introductions. ThorZaIN, yep, ThorZaIN, good old ThorZaIN. Still reminiscing about DreamHack Anaheim from 4 years ago, hoping that WarCraft 3 Reforged was going to be the prime opportunity to bring back a solid real-time strategy game to the masses, only to see it fall flat on its face. Got to talk to some of the developers of Blizzard at the time who were since then let go, and no one from the RTS team really actually saw it. So as soon as it was demoed to the Blizzard team, then they're like, no, this the real-time strategy game, the art doesn't look quite right. It's too hard to distinguish units from other units, hard to make difficult decisions. It's not necessarily about resolution and pixels, as opposed to being able to spot what you are doing. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Farseer are going to be coming out from the red orc player here. Meanwhile, Archmage, so ThorZaIN and the red team bringing in intellect-based heroes. Meanwhile, we see a Demon Hunter Farseer. Demon Hunter should be able to easily take down that turtle there, picks up a Mantle of Intelligence, and we should be looking at perhaps a mana burn to try and shut down enemy heroes. Archmage going to clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp with the help of some militia, picking up Claws of Attack +5. Meanwhile, the Farseer here going to come across and take some of this precious experience away from his opponent, thereby denying level 2. Always very a close matchup here, as the Archmage going to try and go after that after those wolves. Wolves down to 39 hit points, and now the Archmage may want to go after the Sea Turtle hatching. This is one of those crazy weird spots where the Archmage just needs a little bit more experience to get to level 2, which suddenly gives a strong power boost early on in the game. Meanwhile, the Farseer here taking quite a bit of damage, and LawLiet not letting off the gas here, putting pressure, forcing the Voodoo Lounge to get cancelled. And with that Voodoo Lounge canceled, that Farseer doesn't have an easy way of healing. Demon Hunter may come back across the other side there. Hi, thank you for the follow. 4 years already. Yeah, 4 years since DreamHack, since the release of Reforged, which I don't think any professional players use Reforged graphics at all. Does take some time to get used to. And that's one thing, right? You do not want to force players who have been playing a game for 20 years to relearn the game, especially if it is supposed to be the same exact game. Coming back around, Farseer quickly takes down that sheep, and both sides are just testing the waters, so to speak, against each other. Water Elemental getting in a little bit of splash damage there. And as I'm talking, I realize I may have picked up the cold that is going around my family. Wow, that does not feel good. I'm going to try and save my voice a little bit for the cast throughout today. As we're looking at the Farseer just clearing up the wolves off to the side. Headhunters doing a little bit of poke, but there is enough to get a decent surround here. One Headhunter going to get taken down perhaps by those wolves. Yes, does get taken out, but actually by the creep there. A little bit of a deny. Wolves getting cleaned up, as the front line of footmen and the back line of Headhunters making for a very strong 1-2 combination in the early going of this game. Meanwhile, where is that Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter finally regrouping here. Similar strategy. It is going to be grunts and archers from the other side, and both sides are trying to clear out creep camps, while minimizing the damage that is being done to them by the opposing army. Both sides still doing a little bit of poking. We see LawLiet now in with the Naga Sea, which cold arrows could spell some problems on some fleeing units, and one, it looks as though one going to get taken down. There's a gift wrapped footman right there. That's easily going to get taken down as well, as well. And the Demon Hunter, Naga Sea Witch, archers now looking to pull back. Couple of low hit point grunts here. Wolf back there. Meanwhile, Farseer could perhaps get a Voodoo Lounge, heal up some of those units. We are at tier 2, getting up a Tauren Chieftain. Meanwhile, well, the Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp in between the two bases now getting cleared up. Paladin as the second hero, interestingly enough. So we see a Paladin second alongside a Tauren Chieftain. The Paladin going to be able to get in some big burst heals, as the Archmage does have that Brilliance Aura and does want to get back closer. We are looking also at ThorZaIN with transitioning into Rifleman, and I'm curious if the Paladin is perhaps going to try to go for Devotion Aura, going into that unkillable army that ThorZaIN likes to go so much with that Paladin first. Paladin second, not very common in most matchups here, so I think this is the first time I've seen Paladin second in a 2v2 game, as the Tauren Chieftain and now that Paladin working together to clear out this creep camp. Is it going to be Divine Shield? Nope, Devotion Aura. So yeah, it's just a bonus armor for everything here, and then also adding in a handful of priests. All right, both sides got to tier 2, and both sides are creeping very heavily, trying to get every last resource on the map, as a couple of footmen, dancing a bit back and forth. All right, in comes the Farseer and the Tauren Chieftain from the other side here. Are we going to take down a couple of those Ogre Warriors first? We do. There's a Holy Light. Unit's going to try and retreat back. Paladin, turning back around. There goes another Ogre Warrior. Both sides just, being able to focus down just a bit against these units, as a Chain Lightning bouncing around, trying to take down the Ogre Magi does end up falling. There is a gift wrap grunt there, as that grunt, will it be able to escape away? Yes, it will. That scroll of speed allowing just enough to retreat back. Meanwhile, the Farseer able to pick up a couple of items from the shop. A lot of low hit point units. Great play by FoCuS, saving those units to live and fight another day. Meanwhile, Archmage of ThorZaIN going quickly after this Ogre Lord creep camp. There's a shockwave ripping on through. There's only one priest in this mix. I'm surprised by that. Perhaps more priests need to get added in order to, help with the healing, as we're looking at Devotion Aura, making those heals a bit more effective. Demon Hunter coming in from behind. This is potential bad news for ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN's trying to retreat back out. Could end up losing a handful of units to the other army. Militia now coming back across the other way here. And where is his partner? Trying to perhaps cut off the tactical retreat. Tauren Chieftain is here as well. So this is kind of like a 2.5 versus 2.5 versus, or 2 versus 1.5 fight, as we're waiting for the remainder of the Orc units. All right, there goes one low hit point grunt. Archmage gets up to level 3, goes for level 2 Brilliance Aura first to give more mana to everyone else. There's a stomp, stunning the entire front line, but only level 1 stomp doesn't take them out of commission that long. Militia now back into peasant form as they're fighting here. Low hit point grunts and other units now need to retreat back. The Berserkers or the Headhunters are going to be able to do exactly that, as the Demon Hunter trying to chase after units does have Claws of Attack plus 12, but it has to be very careful. Also adding in Scroll of the Beast as well, but the Demon Hunter not getting that bit of bonus, so only at plus 12 damage. Mana burn onto the unit there. Meanwhile, Potion of Invulnerability onto the Tauren Chieftain. FoCuS trying to retreat back with that Tauren Chieftain down to 157 hit points. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter going to be forced to retreat back as well. A mana stealing Chain Lightning bouncing away. Tauren Chieftain unable to do anything there, as we see an ensnare go down onto FoCuS's Farseer. Farseer going to have a very, very bad day, forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal and able to retreat back out. Meanwhile, during this time, ThorZaIN getting up to level 3 should be dropping down a Water Elemental, and perhaps trying to finish off this Ogre Magi creep camp. Paladin will get to level 3, opening up level 2 Holy Light, and perhaps picking up a very powerful item from that Ogre Lord as well. Claws of Attack plus 12, perhaps given to the Farseer or that Archmage. Paladin doesn't really need it. Archmage now with plus 20 attack between those items there. All right. Who is it given to? Is it given to the Farseer? Yes, Farseer now with plus 23 attack. Warsong battle drums coupled with those claws. The Farseer pretty much nearly doubling his base damage with all of those items. As the remainder of the creep camps get cleared out on Turtle Rock, and that means that any additional leveling up will be from fighting each other. Now, we are looking at a couple of easy trolls getting cleaned up here. There's a couple of priests. The priests, do they have adept training? They do in fact have adept training. Scroll of protection also being used alongside a scroll of healing. And here we are, poor Peon just woke up and then found the entire red army just outside of their base here. All right, Raiders perhaps going to try and ensnare. There's an ensnare there. I'm trying to keep the units at bay as the Raiders do a little bit of hit and run on the opposite side. So FoCuS trying to find an opportunity to perhaps flank this army. The army, however, has a large number of ranged units able to fight cleanly and effectively, and then perhaps kite the units back in, as we are now looking at a possible tower attempt as well. All right, Raiders going to try and engage. There goes a Peon. Poor Peon right there. Rifleman shooting the broadside of Tauren Chieftain, but the Tauren Chieftain having evasion because of that talisman. All right, everyone is trying to fight here. Are the Raiders going to be able to get in, as the Mountain Giants also able to, well, get in a couple of taunts as well? Meanwhile, we're looking at Archers and Dryads fighting behind here. There's a retrained to Blizzard. So a retrained to Blizzard trying to cause a little bit of traffic, as we see an ensnare go down onto one of FoCuS's Raiders. KoToBeast is, well, chowing down on a grunt here. Low hit point Rifleman trying to back away. You see Orb of Venom from that Naga Sea Witch also with plus 25 damage. So this is just the game of auto-attacking, high-hitting heroes, as the KoToBeast now trying to retreat back here. All right, we're going to see a tactical retreat. KoToBeast down to 600, 500 hit points. Is he going to be able to be saved? There's a taunt. There's a couple of ensnares and a fork lightning, allowing that grunt to make its way back out. Meanwhile, ThorZaIN was trying to chase after all of these slow-moving orc units, but that actually opened things up for him to get chased down by LawLiet. All right, a little bit of a, well, misstep there. We're going to see a grunt perhaps get cleaned up, perhaps an ensnare. No ensnare, just Holy Light onto the Tauren Chieftain, as the Paladin sitting at level 3 does have an invulnerability potion, and, well, one orange creep camp left on the map. 12.5 minutes into this game, no clear winner as of yet. Archmage may try to pick up an invul potion, perhaps try to give a scroll of healing to the Paladin as well. And both sides, I believe, staying out of low upkeep. Nope, take it back. LawLiet in low upkeep there, 62 compared to 49 and 55 for ThorZaIN. So ThorZaIN needs to train up more units as well, as we're looking at a bit of pressure placed down here. Raiders going to be able to easily take down this Ancient of War. It looks like, nope, there is no pillage there, but the Ancient of Wonders are about to get taken down. This base here of ThorZaIN is pretty wide open, going to be easy to run on in. The Raiders going to get good surface area, and that's a bit of a problem. Sorceress perhaps going to be able to get some, slows down. There's a slow, but no stun. There's a stomp right there. There's a Dispel Magic on that Scroll of Speed. Meanwhile, KnOfF off to the north here, going to be able to back out, trying to turn these trying to turn into favorable fights throughout the game here. We see a Voodoo Lounge is being built off to the north, but that will quickly get canceled out there. No outpost for the Orc. All right, teamwork makes the dream work in this instance, and right now, well, I gotta say LawLiet and FoCuS do have some decent teamwork, but well, the sum doesn't seem greater than the parts yet. LawLiet and FoCuS have been playing very strong, very well together, but that's just because they are such strong individual players normally. Right now, I'm waiting for some brilliance for the two to be able to work together. Meanwhile, well, ThorZaIN and KnOfF is just working together, trying to constantly force engagements next to each other, as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain, and now in comes the Blizzard raining down here. All right, so Blizzard raining got retrained their Archmage. Squirrel of Protection. He got stomped down here. There's a stomp there as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to make their way through. All right, what's going to happen? Chain Lightning bouncing around. Both sides fighting armies. Well, Mountain Giants and Dryads are still putting in a bit of pressure. There's a stomp right there. There's another Blizzard trying to raid down, but ThorZaIN's Blizzards aren't going to really be doing much. You need to find the fragile units that can absorb that damage, as a couple of Raiders are still going to get cleaned up here. One Raider down, another Raider getting taken down. There's another stomp onto ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN finally has level 2 Brilliance Aura again as the Kodo Beasts are getting cleaned up. The Mountain Giants and the Dryads are picking off on the other side here, just trying to focus down a Rifleman off on the far side. That Rifleman actually absorbing quite a bit of damage as the Farseer falls at level 3. That actually bought a lot of time as these units are now trying to finally engage against the majority of the army. Archmage gets mana burned here. He's going to turn back around, perhaps try to fight his way through. Mountain Giants still able to get in a couple of ensnares. Units are trying to retreat back. Grunts are getting cleaned up. Level 4 now on the Tauren Chieftain, giving level 2 Endurance Aura, so faster movement speed still, as the Farseer is still getting in some big hits. There's Raiders going up against the Riflemen and Grunts here. There's some Blizzard now raining down, but watch out for that friendly damage as those units are retreating back. The Dryads, remember, and Mountain Giants are, well, magic resistant and magic immune, so the Blizzard's not going to work out that well. All right, Paladin down to 400 hit points. He's going to be able to keep anything alive. Archmage going to try and do a tactical retreat here. Level 5 now on the Nagel Sea Witch, and there is the game. FoCuS and LawLiet able to outlast right there, even though a couple heroes were lost in that last fight. ThorZaIN and LawLiet both getting in a hero kill, but I believe LawLiet having just higher level heroes doing a better job creeping earlier on, and it just gave that little bit of extra experience that was needed. Remember, ThorZaIN on the south side of the map was trying to go after that Ogre Lord creep camp, got creep jacked, and well, it delayed his creeping just a little bit. During that time, there was just more creeping going on by like LawLiet and FoCuS. LawLiet in particular, while FoCuS was placing down some earlier pressure, but in the end, LawLiet able to do the most damage, carry the team to victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.